I can see myself today. What is today? Let me see. It's Thursday. It's a cloudy, rainy day, and so there's not much sun coming in the windows, so hopefully this will turn out all right without a bunch of lights on me. I'm Joy, and this is Thursday, March 19, I believe it is, 2015. And I'm here with my two muddy dogs. They've been running around in the wet backyard, and I have to bring them in and put them up until their feet dry, and then I let them out because I can sweep up dirt and once it's dry, so that's not as much problem as wet. So, if you're reading my blog, you know I finished a quilt today. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. So I wanted to show you, since I'm here at my Edmond home, I don't have all the facilities here that I have at my other house. At my other house, I would put that quilt on the long arm right now. Either that, or I would put my two big tables together and lay the quilt out flat on the two big tables, and then I would go get my piece of plexiglass. I have this piece of plexiglass that you get in the window repair department at Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's just thin and clear. And mine's about 2 foot by 3 foot maybe, and you can just lay it down on parts of your quilt, like up here on the flowers. If I want, this is a really horrible drawing of my quilt, okay? You could lay that plexiglass down on a corner of the quilt or the middle of the quilt or whatever, and then you can take these dry erase markers and you can write on that plexiglass just like you can write on this whiteboard. And then you can erase it and start again, erase it, start again, erase it, start again. But since I don't have that, I have these big whiteboards at both my houses because when the kids were little, we used to love to play Pictionary. And so I didn't like writing on little pieces of paper. You know me, I'm a paper pen picture person. And so I went and got easels. This easel was like $200 at Hobby Lobby, and I saw it over in the clearance aisle one day. It was like 80% off. I mean, I paid like $30 for it. And it's absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I just love it. So, I have this easel and this whiteboard. Now, I've been taking a class for Terry. Terry's supposed to be taking the class. She's my student, and I told her she needed to take that class for her homework. But I took it myself just as a refresher course. And she's teaching how to quilt in negative spaces and how to decide what to put on a quilt. And she shows you a whole bunch of patterns that she uses. It gets really long and boring for me because I already know how to do most of it. But anyway, I put up my whiteboard the other day, and I came out here, and this is one of her designs, which is circles and leaves, and this is a tinier version, circles and leaves, and then this is one of my designs because I got bored with her. But this is how I'm going to decide what I want to quilt on the sunflowers. And I got to find a name for the sunflower quilt besides sunflowers. I mean, that's just too ordinary and obvious, right? So I got to think of a cute name for that. So I've tried to draw my sunflower quilt up here. And I've decided what I'm going to do in the quilt. And I kind of learned this from Angela Walter. She's the one that has the classes that Terry's supposed to be watching for homework. And she, you know, the fence on the quilt is just right here in this corner. But what I'm going to do when I quilt the quilt is I'm going to quilt the fence the whole way across the bottom. Okay, so part of it will be the brown fence, and I'm sure there'll be a picture under this video where you can see it. And the rest of it, I will quilt the fence in the rest of the way. Then, I can either quilt sunflowers the whole way up where all those blocks are, or I've got the blocks here, and I've done a design that I might use. The red would be the quilting, and the black in the back is the block. I thought that was something I could do, divide the blocks up into smaller blocks and do the curve. The curve is so much fun to do and easy. And over here, I'll just echo. I'll echo the stem of the flower, I'll echo the leaves of the flower, I'll quilt inside the flower, I'll quilt inside the leaves. Is what I'll do here. And then over here on this border, I'll quilt a sunflower that's like these sunflowers, only we'll just be quilting, whereas this is applique. And up on the top, I've got 6 inches. I might just do sunflowers and leaves all the way across the top. I don't know. And then I've got all these blocks in between, which I can do one of a million things too. But anyway, I want to show you how much fun it is to have a whiteboard to practice your designs on and to draw your quilt on. Another thing I always do on my whiteboard, and I've taught Terry to do it, is I draw the quilt before I quilt it, and I put the size of it, and then I put the border behind it, and I put the size of the border behind it. And then that helps us know how big to cut the border for one thing, and what our sizes are for on the long one. So anyway, just a little mini tutorial for my quilting friends out there, which I don't know, maybe there's 2 of you. Maybe if I start doing more quilting, I'll get more quilting readers. I don't know, it doesn't matter to me. I just do it for fun. So, my 2 dogs, you know my 2 dogs, Jackie and Josie, they went to my daughter's house, and they were there like 4 days. I picked them up day before yesterday. They've done nothing but sleep ever since they got back home. I don't know what my daughter did to these dogs, but they do not want to wake up. I've got one asleep here and one asleep over there. And Josie never sleeps. She's always all over me, all around me, right in front of my feet and everything. And neither one of them wants to do anything but sleep. So, you know, good for me on a rainy day. I don't have to mess with them wanting to go outside and play. But I've got to go. I have to go to the store, and I'm taking myself out to lunch. I'm doing my diet, my Herbalife diet. I'm doing a shake for breakfast and a shake for supper today, so I get to go have a hamburger or something for lunch. All right? So bye for now.